My name is Paul Salnow. I am the president of the Governor Oliver Wolcott Senior Branch number 10 of the Sons of the American Revolution. The Governor Oliver Wolcott Senior Branch of the Sons of the American Revolution is honored to have been invited by the Mary Floyd Tallmadge chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution to remember and pay respects to one of the great patriots of the American Revolution, a man with great leadership ability, conviction, courage, integrity, and dedication. His life was a great adventure story. Benjamin Tallmadge was born on February 25, 1754, on Brookhaven, Long Island, New York. He graduated from Yale College in 1773 at the age of 19. In that same year, he became the superintendent of the Wethersfield High School. In June of 1776, he began his Army career as first lieutenant in Colonel John Chester's regiment of the Wadsworth, Connecticut Brigade, and eventually became captain of a troop of the 2nd Continental Light Dragoon Regiment. In the summer of 1778, his dragoons were assigned under Brigadier General Charles Scott, who was Washington's intelligence chief. Tallmadge's new job was to recruit intelligence sources throughout Connecticut and the New York area. He contacted his old friends from Long Island, New York City, and gradually formed the Culper Ring, the first organized espionage operation in America. When Charles Scott had to go home because of family problems in the fall of 1778, Tallmadge was promoted once again and began reporting directly to Washington. Tallmadge was to take all precautions that his ring would remain extremely secret. In fact, it was so secret that Washington didn't even know the people who were in the spy ring. They were Robert Townsend, Aaron Woodhill, Augusta Rowe, Anna Strong, Cable Brewster, all made up the ring. The central figure, Robert Townsend, code-named Culper Jr., was a society reporter for the American newspaper and an owner of a small dry goods store in New York City. The newspaper gave him access to social functions all over town, where he could talk to the British soldiers without being suspicious. The dry goods store gave him access to people in and outside the city that were in need of goods and sometimes a little extra information. In order to pass the information from New York City to George Washington in upstate New York without being caught, the culpers created an elaborate scheme. And this is the way it worked. Townsend would gather information about the British soldiers in New York City. Augusta Rowe would drop by his store every once in a while to buy goods for people on Long Island and put a request in writing from John Bolton. Bolton was the code name for Tallmadge, and his request was a coded letter. Townsend would give Rowe the requested goods, and Rowe would leave. When no one was looking, Townsend would sneak out the back, run up to his small room close to the shop, read what Tallmadge had written, and answer the letter. Rowe would show up again in Townsend's room and take the letter and the answers and hide them in the packages. Rowe was a courageous man and not afraid of riding great distances. He would ride the 110 miles to Seatuck, New York, as fast as he could. Once there, Rowe dropped off the letter in a field that he had rented to tend his cattle. He would tend the cattle and place the letter in a prearranged drop box. After Rowe had gone, Aaron Woodhill, codenamed Culper Sr., would enter the field and pick up the letters. Woodhill added his own information and took them across the bay, looked across the bay to see where Anna Strong had placed her black petticoat on the clothesline. This petticoat was a signal to let Woodhill know that Cable Brewster had arrived in his whaleboat to take the letters across the bay, and the number of handkerchiefs on the line would tell him exactly where Brewster was hiding or in which cove along the shore he was in. Under the cover of darkness, Woodhill would sneak across the cove and give Brewster the messages. Brewster would row across Devil's Belt to Fairfield, Connecticut, and give Benjamin Tallmadge the letters. Finally, the letters would be passed along the way to Washington in New Windsor, New York, by a series of mounted dragoons posted every 15 miles. There were many close calls which resulted in tight security. The spy Ring took into extraordinary encounters, including the involvement and capture of Major Andre in the fall of 1780, which was instrumental in exposing Benedict Arnold's treason. It was also said that if Tallmadge had his way, Arnold may not have had time to escape arrest. Tallmadge was brevetted lieutenant colonel in 1783 and was present when George Washington bid farewell to the troops in New York City that year. On March 18, 1784, Benjamin Tallmadge married Mary Floyd, daughter of General William Floyd of New York, a representative of the Continental Congress, signer of the Declaration of Independence, and later governor of New York. Mary was indeed a daughter of the American Revolution. Benjamin and Mary resided here in Litchfield on North Street. Together they had 7 children, one of whom was named George Washington Tallmadge. Mary Floyd Tallmadge died on June 3, 1805, at the age of 42, and is buried here beside her husband. Benjamin Tallmadge became a successful merchant and bank president, and from 1801 to 1817, he was elected representative of the United States Congress, after which he refused re-election. Benjamin Tallmadge died in Litchfield on March 7, 1835, at the age of 81. The Sons of the American Revolution salute you, Benjamin Tallmadge, and you, Mary Floyd Tallmadge. God has blessed us all through your lives.
To the right, face. To the forward, march. Stop. Aim. Fire.
They just went to the
On behalf of both the DAR and the SAR, I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. I hope you've enjoyed this celebration of these 2 patriots who our branches are dedicated to. And thank you very much for our military color guard also, who's attended here with us today, and also our cannon regiment. Have a very, very happy 4th of July. Thank you very much.
Thank you.